Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Game 2 of the Lions Series 2025. They are away now, playing up against the Western Force for Game 2. And what an exciting stacked team it is. There's certainly quite a few internationally clapped players in the Force today. The British and Irish Lions had a change from the team last week. Will Stewart coming in the tight end department. Ollie Chessum returns to rejoin his English partnership with Maro Itoje, and a change in that back three as well, with Hugo Keenan and James Lowe incoming. The Irish back three, always a buzz of excitement. We're looking forward to a big game today to see how this Lions series really kicks off after their friendly game versus Argentina last week. That was everything but friendly, but what an enjoyable match that was. And here's this man, Finn Russell, to get us started and underway, with Smith relieved from duty this week. Marcus Smith moved to the bench for this one from that original fullback position as well. And Finn Russell gets us kicked off long and high. It in runs Hugh Jones now. That's a huge tackle going on by the new flanker, James van der Fleer, coming in this week over Tom Curry, and already they try and break through there with Ben Donaldson wanting to take the ball on Western Force for some early possession here. Just want to try and pick those holes in that Lions defensive line as Tonkinson moves it up. They go left once again, this time through to Stewart. Oh, still managing to get a nice little break there, and Caesar's room in that backfield. Oh, it's a lovely kick over the top, but the referee's brought them back for offside. That's Dan Sheehan, who's been pulled up on that one from that ruck. Was playing the advantage. I'm not going to say they won't have been too happy with that kick, but was inside of the Lions half, so wasn't a 50-22. This will give Western Force a nice bit of territory up into the Lions half. And similar to last week, Lions put on the back foot early on in this game, as we'll head for our first line out of the day as Nick Dolly sets himself up just to put this ball in. The Lions line out last week causing a few issues, but we'll see how they get on this week as it goes out towards the back. Well received, and Jameson Gibson Park dives in trying to get a tackle there, but in comes Jack Morgan just to finish the job on that one. An enormous shot coming in there and rushing in for the double tackle on the next carry once again. Lions still trying to compete at this breakdown, but Western Force doing extremely well just to keep on top of it. But a loose pass out the back, and Jameson Gibson Park reads it very well. It's a slow ball though, and eventually Finn Russell will be able to get away with it. Or as they make the break there, as Hugh Jones pops it off. He's got a man outside him. It's Freeman. Tries to go once again. Hugo Keenan moving himself up into the attack line as well. Doesn't work for him, and someone's done great work in that ruck there, and Force managed to get it back from the Lions to regain position. And the Lions are a little bit out of position here, so worth the attack. They've seen once again that room over, of course. Hugo Keenan stuck in that earlier ruck when he brought himself up into the attack line. Nobody there, nobody ready for that counter, and that's a great kick back over the top by Ben Donaldson. And that will put the Force right back up into this Lions 22. Let's see how they get on in the next line as they jump up. Oh, that one's stolen, though, by the Lions, and they play it very, very far wide. They make a break here as James Lowe thinks he's seen room, goes for a kick over the top. Will the bounce be favourable? Doesn't work for him. The bounce going high and recollected there as the Force managing to drive back up towards that halfway line. Might be a bit isolated, though. Want to help support at that ruck. And they go on the charge on Ben Donaldson once again. They've obviously noted something from last week, because the kicking game is very, very harsh today. And that is another wonderful 50-22 coming in by Ben Donaldson. No messing around today. They want to play this game up in the Lions half. They know getting those scores going to be all important today. They throw it towards the front and manage to recollect their own line out this time in a great position. As Harry Potter runs it up into the tackle line this time and smashing it up. Oh, it's Ben Donaldson. Well, managing to get away with it. I don't think anyone was ready for that. Ollie Chessum trying to find the ball behind his head somewhere, as there was a big offload. Hasn't managed to punish them too badly from that going wrong, but a good tackle by Itoje just pushes them back over that 22, and the Force still looking to try and find those little inroads on the inside. That's a great little line there as Matt Greeley tries to find his way through. Still looking to put pressure there as they now move towards the centre. That's well wrapped up by Finn Russell. Still trying to just play towards that breakdown this time. Gench has to step in. Oh, it's another great read by Finn Russell. Didn't move off the back of that other ruck and has managed to reclaim the ball. And now the Lions think they've seen something out on this far wing. And once again, it's James Lowe. Where can he go? That's a great tackle going in by Greeley. No messing about. Not letting him get any sort of room through there. And Gibson Park wants to try and play the game up there. And now goes for the box kick into the hands of Greeley, who gets a lovely kick away. Oh, it's absolutely fabulous. The bounce favourable as well. It'll be the third 50-22 of the game. And just again, the Lions find themselves stuck in their own 22. They just cannot seem to get the actions right to escape at the minute. And once again recovered there by the force in their own line-out. And Itoje running across just to try and support. Oh, that's a good tackle, driving his man back. And the Lions rushing to try and apply some pressure on that one, but not coming up with the ball. Oh, no, great little break there through the middle. I don't think anyone's going to be able to get on the end of him. And Tompkinson goes over. What a great little line to hit. Obviously read that the Lions defensive line just drifting a little bit too much. And able to just hit the hole beautifully there. Nobody on the end of him. Gets the little sidestep on the inside. James Lowe trying to get back across. Dives over the top. And you have to say the territory and the pressure being applied by Western Force today has absolutely meant they deserve to have this early lead. As Ben Donaldson will step up to try and convert this to a 7 from the original 5. And you'd have to say he's got good chances. It's a pretty easy kick for him. And slots it through. And 25 minutes in, Western Force goes 7-0 up. And I don't know if there's been many minutes played in their half as of yet. Very, very well managed by the men in blue today. As the Lions looking to just try and shake it up now. Going to have to try and get their hands on the ball and actually try and put some phases together as they go for a very, very high kickoff this time. Ellis Genge tries to make a leap for it, but not got a great deal of faith in him being able to beat one of the backs to be able to get to that ball. As the Maul held up now, playing it short. A couple of the Lions, whereas Ollie Chesham looked awfully close to being offside there. Got to just maintain that line. Don't want to give any easy outs. That's a good tackle once again by Finn Russell. He's had a couple of good tackles today just to try and apply that pressure, just to try and keep them pinned back in their own half. Territory hasn't been their friend so far, and once again gets himself on the end of another good tackle that time. Western Force just wanting to go through the hands for the second. It can work for them. Time is on their side. And eventually the box kick does come in. It's not the greatest kick in the world, and it is recovered there. Oh, by Tui Balotu, got his hands away as well to Josh van der Fleer. Now, this is probably the best area for possession that the Lions have had all game so far. That's a great little pop pass off the inside there to Tommy Freeman. Runs in to the hard shoulder of Matt Greeley once again. That's about his third big tackle today by Greeley. And James Lowe this time. Oh, manages to find the gap. Can Greeley get back for it once again? Try saving tackle. Greeley's had a great game so far. And Lions are going to try and look for something else this time as Tui Balotu tries to hit it up. Oh, and there's the Scottish combo. Working together. Tui Balotu charging hard at the line, drawing the defenders in and knowing Hugh Jones will be on his shoulder somewhere. Just got to give that pass as late as possible. And hitting that gap round the lock and being able to dive over. That's one of the changes coming in this week. Bundee Aki moved to the bench in way for the Scottish partnership in the centre to link back up once again in a Lions jersey this time. And I have to say, that is a change well made so far. As Finn Russell, the other Scotsman, slotting that one through to bring the Lions back into this game. 7-all. With just 4 minutes remaining on the clock in this first half. Ben Donaldson to get us restarted. Just judging his wind. Where's the ball going? Who's going to be on the end of it? Goes for a high. Slightly shorter. Will land in the arms there of Dan Sheehan, who takes it straight into contact. Just trying to organise a bit of play now. As Josh van der Fleer, you can see a hand raised there, trying to call him out. Thinks he's seen room on the outside. And Freeman gets a nice little offload there. Or to Finn Russell. Trying that little bit of fancy footwork we know he can do as he tries to make a break himself. Hasn't worked for him. They go for another little offload there. And Tui Balotu manages to get around the outside of Lenny Wasser. Still looking for any sort of room as they'll go left once again this time. Oh, that's great work. It hasn't been able to pay off. And that's a huge tackle coming in there. And the Lions seem to be a little bit pinned back in their own half this time. Western Force just wanting to hold up their defensive line as Hugh Jones, try scorer, runs into another tackle. Nowhere to be able to run, and Lions drop it down this time. Oh, Tui Balotu thought maybe there's a bit of room out here, and James Lowe's come completely the opposite side to his wing, tries to make it work. It's not going to work for them. And James Park says, we've had enough, just get this one off the park. Let's go into the sheds at half-time, level pegging, and have a bit of a switch-up in this second half. Well, we're on to the first away game for the Lions of 2025, and it's always a nervous start when you get into these games playing away from home. A change in personnel for the Lions this week going on from Argentina can always cause its own problems, and Western Force have made sure to take full advantage of it. Just a bit of disorganisation going on in the background for the British and Irish Lions. Bit of miscommunication between that back three has left a lot of open space in that backfield, allowing Ben Donaldson to repeatedly find the room in that backfield with some beautiful kicks, landing numerous 50-22s, allowing for that line out. The line out's actually been relatively strong for the Lions so far, making a bit of a nuisance of themselves, just taking away that platform from the Western Force. But overall, that territory working in their favour. 58% in terms of territory, 60% in terms of possession for the Force today, and they made it pay with Tomkinson getting a brilliant try earlier in this first half, being able to just find that gap. James Lowe rushing back, but just too late, and C.O. Tomkinson goes over to score the first try, converted by Ben Donaldson. Thought potentially it could have been the only score, but the first real attacking option of the game for the British and Irish Lions. They made the most of it, going on the attack. Eventually, Tuipulotu taking the ball hard to the line before getting a pop pass to his Scottish international centre partnership of Hugh Jones, allowing him to dot that ball down, and Finn Russell being able to convert that one over. 7-all apiece at half-time. What will shake up in the second half? On to the second half then. And Ben Donaldson to get us kicked off and underway. What will the coaches have said at half-time? Is it a case of bring the attack, bring the offence? Or is it look for those penalties, try and edge out a win as the Lions take this ball early on in this first half? Very, very slow to get it back out of the ruck, but eventually Gibson Park does. Out to Tuipulotu, gets it out to Jack Morgan, just trying to find his way on the outside there. Oh, that's a good handoff though by James Lowe, still going, and Greeley dives in for the attack, and the Irish internationals linking up as Gibson Park wants to try and get on it himself there as he pops it off to Finn Russell, who's managed to hit a great gap, tackled though by his opposite number of Ben Donaldson, and great work out the breakdown there by Tom Robertson. The tight head prop coming in, being able to rip that ball back. But an interesting boxing, maybe out of options. So the scrum half's giving it back to the Lions. That might have been a bad choice there. Coach won't be too happy with that one. Can't afford to give Lions possession in a dangerous territory area. Very, very slow though, once again from the ruck. One thing the Force have done very well today is just being able to sort out that breakdown as Finn Russell once again making himself known to that attack line. Really pushing himself up, but I think he's been jackled there, and it's good work. They do get that turnover, and the handoff going in this time. Oh, tries to go for the offload. One push too far maybe by the tight head prop. And Lions reclaim possession. Just trying to find where they can see that attack being able to probe. And Finn Russell, oh, maybe went for a kick over the top, and it hasn't worked for them. Force managing to collect and get that little bounce away. It's very, very slow, and no one's able to sort of pick it up on the end of it there. And eventually, oh, the Force get what has gone on there is Hugo Keenan waiting to leave that ball to bounce out. Hasn't worked for him. And suddenly a lot of territory lost, and the Lions put right on the back foot now, and Hugo Keenan's got to try and make up that earlier mistake. They go for a big pass back on the inside. That's a good tackle by Josh van der Fleer. And oh, the referees ping them once again there. Oh, that's an offside. That's actually come from the TMO. Has actually picked that one up in the box and actually said it was actually Western Force offside. Weren't allowed to go there, so it will actually be a penalty to the Lions. You could say that's a bit of a let-off there. They were struggling in all sorts to try and reclaim that. I don't think they were ready for that kick to go loose from Finn Russell trying that wild card. Oh, but the subs being brought on, making some changes. Some few jeers around the stadium there as Thomas Williams coming on at scrum half for Gibson Park. A few other friendly faces coming on for this Lions team now as well. Let's see what sort of shift that makes to the squad as we get these big players running onto the side as well. Jack Conan coming on in that number 8 shirt. He's always a buzz of excitement to come on, especially off the back of a scrum. Lineup going in then from Dan Sheehan. That's some solid work there at the throw. Gets it straight to his man, and they try and play it off, and Hugh Jones gets absolutely wrapped up. They were ready for that one. The Huey-Pilotu combo not working this time as they play left to James Lowe. And Finn Russell once again. Oh, he's been busy today. He's making a nuisance of himself, and James Lowe chasing this one down. Not quite going to be able to get on the end of it. Oh, they've gone for a kick. Back up to the midfield, though. I'm not sure that's the right action to have taken, and Freeman goes for the up and under, but it's called in a mark. It's got awfully scrappy now and eventually lands in the hands of James Lowe. Thinks he's seen room just down towards this corner. Matt Greeley's had an absolute shocker there and not been able to pick up the loose ball bouncing around him. And the Lions got a bit of easy territory here as they run up to the line as Jack Conan that time took that one up. But Ollie Chesamore well wrapped up by the defensive man in blue there. Slow ball at that breakdown once again. They've done so well to just halt that Lions pace. Trying to get the ball out the ruck quickly. They are just not letting them get away with it. And this time they'll try and play out wide. Oh, James Lowe gets on the outside shoulder of the flanker. That was Tizzano, I think, not able to get on him. And James Lowe just able to break away. Really nicely well picked pass there coming in from Ellis Genge, actually. Oh, I thought it was Thomas Williams coming in there. But James Lowe able to just get on the outside shoulder. Fantastic work. And it is given. And the Lions will move into the lead for the first time in this game. It's been a hard-fought game to be able to get them here at the minute. And Finn Russell to step it up, trying to extend that. It's going to be necessary. You feel like this game is ticking along slowly. Well, that's a good kick coming in from Finn Russell there. Just able to slide it round the nearer post and gets it straight through the middle. James Lowe happy to have got on this scoreboard. After being left out of the team sheet last week, of course, Duhan van der Merwe and Tommy Freeman were in the squad last week. James Lowe making the most of his opportunity. And Ben Donaldson once again to get this one off and underway. And I think they've lined up a few subs themselves as Hugo Keenan now trying to get into that line as well. Oh, that's a nice little break there from Jack Morgan. I don't think he was expecting to be able to have the breakaway there and gets it out to Finn Russell. He's been busy today. He's got Freeman with him on the inside. Oh, it's a lovely piece of work by the Lions players. And that will be another try. It really stemmed from nothing. For all the positive things we've said so far about the Western Forces defensive line, Jack Morgan just found himself in room and just kept getting the calls for the outside shoulder. Replacements are on. Maybe just coming in for a bit cold from the bench. Just out of position there. You saw number 22 not quite being able to get on the end of that tackle. And that defensive line, that's one of the issues that does happen when you bring the subs on. They've come into the game completely cold and you can begin to have a few issues in your defensive line. It's been so good all day at just shutting down the Lions from having those breaks. It is Jack Morgan who manages to make that way through, and Finn Russell makes it 3 from 3 and puts the Lions now 21 points to 7 in the lead. Words need to be had by the men in blue just to try and reorganise. Don't let this game get away from you. Still 15 minutes on the clock. It's more than enough time to really make this count. As Dan Sheehan runs it to the wall. That is Tom Robertson. No way through there. And Thomas Williams goes for an exit kick now, landing in the arms of the new fullback as he runs it straight into Jack Morgan, who made that break in the last phase of play. Now they try and look on the outside as Ben Donaldson gets it out. Another good handoff. Still looking to just go for those offloads. 10 minutes left on the clock. Lions slow. Toje tries to make himself known in that breakdown. They go further up wide as they get it out there to the prop. Maybe not the fastest man on the field to have made the break down the wing. Do get it back inside to Ben Donaldson, but it's not going to work for them. And they go in there. Oh, there looks to be an injury there. It looks like Dan Sheehan's really not very comfortable on that shoulder at the minute, but Lions have managed to get the ball back, and Freeman, the try scorer, able to make a breakaway. Has he got the legs to be able to go? Oh, he's going to do it! I don't think anyone's going to be able to get there. It'll be one more for Tommy Freeman. That's a brace for him today. I'm not really sure what happened to that breakdown. It was the enormous collision that happened with Dan Sheehan. He looks very uncomfortable with his shoulder. And at that latest breakdown, though, just a few players began to put their heads up. Focus on the ball is absolutely necessary. And Freeman runs through. And there's some more replacements going on there. So, yeah, Dan Sheehan obviously going to be coming off with his shoulder. Ronan Keller comes in. And on comes Marcus Smith and Elliot Daly. Now, where do these boys fit into the squad is the question. Finn Russell stepping up for the gig hasn't come off. So it looks like Marcus Smith is actually sliding back into that fullback position. Elliot Daly coming on at 13 for Hugh Jones. Wrap that man up in bubble wrap. He's going to be all important as these games go on to play towards Australia. And Finn Russell slots that one through for 28 points to 7. 5 minutes remaining on the clock. You have to say this game is just about done. But does one of these teams have one more score left in them? As Ben Donaldson, potentially for the last time here, gets us off And away once again lands in the arms of the new hooker onto the field, Ronan Keller. Hopefully Dan Sheehan's okay. Did not look comfortable on that shoulder at all. As Thomas Williams throws it out there to Josh van der Fleer. Gets absolutely hammered in that tackle. They're still wanting to try and spread this wide. Oh, it's Elliot Daly. What a great turn of pace he's managed to find now. Running through this line. Who's with him? Oh, he's made a break. Can he make it all the way? That is one of the things that adding these subs late a minute into this game can offer. Fresh legs coming in against some tired players. Just turned the fullback inside and out. The winger wasn't able to get back either. And Elliot Daly dots it down. That is the final nail in the coffin. And that's the sort of impact you want to be seeing from the bench. It's all important as they go on through this Lions series, being able to see the full 23 have an impact in the game. It's no longer a game just about your starting 15. Those replacement players are just as important, and Elliot Daly will be happy he got his shot in the final 5 minutes as well. So it wasn't for the last time. You have to say this one probably is from Ben Donaldson, and hopefully the Western Force have got something in them to be able to put potentially one more on the scoreboard as Marcus Smith runs into Ben Donaldson. I don't think he was too happy about that last try, and he's had to have one on the chin for his teammates there as they get it out once again. Here's Tui Pelote, who's trying to make a bit of a break. He's got nobody with him though, no supporting players. And Thomas Williams this time wants to go for something slightly different, a high ball, and James Lowe on the end of it, so not able to get a hand underneath it. And now Western Force got possession back. Can they play on there? Oh, it's great work though by Pierre Schoeman, who's come onto the field and just completely demolishes that ruck. And the Lions have come into their own in the last 5 minutes, and try scorer Elliot Daly now trying to make room out on that wing. Nowhere to go as they play back inside here to the captain, Itoje. Oh, nearly slipped through 2 tacklers there. Good defensive work once again by Robertson. He's had a good game today, just being able to get on the end of him. Some good hands here coming in by the Lions boys as Freeman takes another big shot coming in defensively there by Western Force. Lions want to play on. They're having fun with it at the minute. Do they have one more? And James Lowe tries to go, gets a little friendly pop pass there to Marcus Smith, who will dive it down. James Lowe potentially could have got himself a little bit unselfishly there, giving that award away. I think maybe he thought he was going to get hunted down by the fullback. And Marcus Smith flies it over. And that will be the game. This game that was in what felt like a deadlock for a good chunk just became unlocked. Those Lions substitutions have made all the difference towards the end of this second half. And that will be the game. 42 points to 7. How important can those replacements be? Changes made going into the game, all important. But of course, the big game's still to come as the Lions staring down the barrel of going up against the Wallabies all too soon. They need to get these team chemistry just in a bit of organisation. Better defence today, less points conceded, but just can't afford to have those big gaps in the defensive line and allow the opposite team to make those breaks through. What a fun game it was today, guys. 42 points to 7. I hope we've all enjoyed this one. Let's see how the Lions get on in the actual game on the weekend. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.